Get a free Roku 4-lease with our media packages. Get the speed you need with MR Systems Wireless. Call them at 935-2100. That's 935-2100 for MR Systems Wireless.
Your friend in Central Illinois. WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube. Brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest on the Zoom, or on the phone today, I should say, Dave Jackson owns Clinton Save a Lot. Dave, good to talk to you, my friend. How are you?
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for asking. Thanks for making time for us. I know you're a busy man. We appreciate you taking time, as always, to talk about your store and what's going on in the store. And Dave, I know celebrating a milestone this month. It was, I can't believe it's been 10 years since you opened up your new location. How about that?
Yeah, well, 10 years since we actually had the groundbreaking in March. And then in April, I'm not sure the exact date, is when we actually started digging. Nelson Excavating was out there with their equipment and started digging the foundation for the store, which will be open 10 years as of November 30th of this year. So it doesn't seem possible, but it's here it is. It's 10 years in this location. So it's been quite a amazing journey to get to this point.
Sure. Yeah. Well, and it's treated you well, it sounds like.
It really has. And, you know, the thing that I point out in my Facebook posts, by the way, I think it's interesting, while I was on hold there, I was listening to my commercial. I don't know if that was planned or that was an accident, but I guess that was
well, it would have been that commercial or the next one. So
yeah, good job on your part. But anyway, as I pointed out in the Facebook post, I mean, the most I'm proud of a lot of things, but I'm just incredibly proud of the fact that this was a local building built by local businesses, and so many times businesses and government agencies in Clinton and DeWitt County, not all of them, but just too many of them, when they want to have something done, they immediately look to the outside, and instead they're tripping over contractors and qualified companies and qualified craftsmen that could do the job and support people that live in the community. And I wasn't going to let that happen. I was very focused on keeping it local. So Waters Construction was the general contractor, and we used Sessions Electric and a lot of other local people. The store was built almost 100% locally, with the exception of trades that we just did not have in Clinton, like block layers. Mm-hmm. So, right. It's a testament to these skilled folks that built this building. And if you look at it, I have people come in here to this day and they think it's brand new. Mm-hmm. So that was my goal, was to make sure at the 10-year mark, this store looked like it just opened.
It does. Yeah, it really does.
We're almost there, November.
Yeah, so. You've kept it up. No question about it. I know you've put solar panels at the front. I don't know how much that has helped. And as we talk, just kind of the store in general, you're starting to get to a point where you're having to make some upgrades and do some fixing and things true. Of that nature. How about that?
Yep. We do have 290 panels on the roof. So we have 310 total. So we get about a third of our power from solar. And that was another thing that it wasn't the trend by any stretch. I didn't know of any store that I know of or knew of at the time that had solar panels. And I just decided to leap into it. So it was paid for in 5 years. And now it generates about a third of our power. Mm. So, with power bills going up, because we'll talk about inflation, but, certainly energy and the power bills have gone a little crazy. So we use a lot of energy in a grocery store. Mm-hmm. I mean, we've got a lot of compressors that suck a lot of juice. And so solar's been really important. So a couple other things while we're talking about facility is our generator. And I've probably been in 1,000 stores in my lifetime, and I've been in every store in central Illinois, most of the state. And no other store except I think it's Bill's IGA in Staunton has a generator, and that was the only other store. And I actually went and visited him, and that's what prompted me to put a generator in 2011 at the old store. We moved it here, and it actually used the generator had to work less to run the store when the power was out because this building is so efficient. So it was slated to be replaced this year. Well, on February 24th, they decided it had it, and it basically blew up. We're lucky it didn't literally blow up, but it died on February 24th. So we already had in the works to get a new generator from CAT, and we got it installed on March 20th. So we went 24 days with no generator, which, of course, during that time we had to have a couple storms that were scary. But anyway, the generator's installed, brand new, and sitting there just waiting for the next situation. Like, what we ran into last year, our generator ran our store for 20 hours straight, and we were the only store in Clinton open. Everything was closed. And the year before, we had a 16-hour outage. So, selfishly, we put this generator in so that we don't have to unload cases and then load them back up. But the other thing is, we're here to serve the community. We're open. We don't have to worry about the weather. And it's a natural gas generator, so we've got a good, fuel supply. And we just don't have to worry about, you don't have to worry about the power was out for a few hours and what's the quality of the product and been sitting in the store, not refrigerated or frozen. So we're very, very fortunate, and we put a lot of thought into installing this, and I'm very, very thankful that we did. So it's exciting news. The other thing is, and again, we used Altorfer or CAT. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it came through this facility here in town, but this is a CAT generator, and it's got a Chevy engine, which is kind of cool, and it's 10 or 8-cylinder engine that runs the whole store, which is really kind of hard to believe that little thing outside can run the whole store.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's cool. So keeping those things up, and you got to do that, Dave. I mean, if you're your commitment to the community, I mean, those things are kind of musts for you in times of need.
Upgrade things. Yeah, we're also putting in a new water system actually tomorrow. So we switched water companies. We've got a brand new system being installed, and I'm really excited about that because we've had some production issues with the current equipment, so we're upgrading that also.
Sure.
So that's pretty much it on facilities.
Yeah, gotcha. Will that impact the consumers' access to those water machines at your store?
Well, just tomorrow. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get a Facebook post out there, I suppose, to let people. I don't know how else to let people know besides the radio, of course, that the water machine will be unavailable. Hopefully, just one day. So anyway, we're excited about that.
Very good. Very good. So does that change your price on water refills and all those things?
It doesn't yet. I mean, we were a quarter for 33 years straight. Now find something that was the same price, in, I don't know, 92 or something, or 93. So our price was a quarter in 93, and we came off of that actually a couple years ago. So probably 1991 we were a quarter when we opened the old store. So we're 35 cents right now. But the problem is the price for me with the water company has doubled, and we ended up raising it just a little bit. So we'll probably go up at some point to 39 or 40, but right now we're 35 cents, and that's really a market leading retail. And if you look around at other stores, I don't know that anybody's beating that.
Sure. Dave Jackson, owner of Clinton Save a Lot, my guest on the phone here for this morning. And to that end, Dave, let's talk prices. You've always made the commitment to have the lowest possible price for the consumer, and one of the victories in that world has been eggs of late. So you were telling me they were under $1 for a short time at your store.
Yeah, about I don't know, a few months ago, we went down to 99 cents, and they were costing, I don't even know. People will not believe what we pay for things and what we sell them for. Sometimes we're, 30, 40 cents a dozen below cost, but we went 99 cents for a few weeks, and then the cost dropped enough where I've been dying to do this. This sounds crazy for a retailer, but to sell them for 59 cents, which is less than a nickel an egg. So we sold them for 59 cents, and that was our lowest price in the history other than One time at the other store, we were 47. So I did a little research. The last time the national average for eggs was 59 was in 1966. So 60 years later, we had the same retail, and we did that for 2 weeks also. We didn't do it for one day. We did have a limit of 3, but we did it for 2 weeks solid.
Mhm.
Now they have gone up. Costs have gone up because Easter's coming, and the egg market just goes up and down. That's just how it works. So we're $1.59 right now, and the big giant retailer in Decatur, Walmart, is $1.67. So and we're cheaper than Aldi also. So we try to watch things like milk, eggs, sugar, bread, water, flour, key items, and the total misconception is that these big stores, just because the box is bigger or the building's bigger, doesn't mean they're cheaper. It just means they're bigger and they're more cumbersome and more of a pain to shop in. Doesn't mean they're cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
So I watch it. I monitor Decatur's prices, so you don't have to.
Right. Well, and to that end, Dave, you mentioned with the eggs, you're selling them 40 cents below, what you buy them at. Remind us, how you're able to make those up elsewhere, because you got to make money at the end of the day.
Right.
How are you able to do these things?
Well, we strategically look at pricing, and we have to obviously pay the bills. I mean, the payroll and the payments to the bank and stuff. I mean, the payroll has almost doubled in the last 5 or 6 years. I mean, it's just unreal. So we get some margin where we can. We buy things right where we can make more margin, or we take strategic price increases on things that we know we can. And then again, always checking Walmart to make sure we're close. Or we check the dollar store. We check Kroger. I don't have to check them anymore hardly, but I monitor these things. I know prices in these other stores, and I'm not sure the consumer knows them, because if they did, and I'm not complaining, because our business is off the chart. 65% of our business is out of our trade area. That is such a massive statement. These are people that honestly should not be shopping here, but they're choosing to drive 20 miles, 25, 30 miles to come to Clinton to get fresh meat and to get the experience that we offer. So, so we have to somehow cancel this theory that the big box store is cheaper. They're just bigger. Bigger doesn't mean cheaper. It just means bigger. So, we have to, and we're winning this battle. I mean, people are the message is resonating. We have signs throughout the store, and it puts right on the sign, our price, Walmart, Aldi, Kroger, big box drugstores. I don't name local stores whenever I do it. I never put Kirby Foods on my signs. I would never do that, because it's not ethical. But I will put out of town stores. That doesn't bother me at all.
Very good. Well, on that note, Dave, you mentioned putting a Facebook post out about your water situation there. How do folks find you on Facebook to keep up with what you got going on in the store?
I'm not Mr. Tech, but when I want to find Clinton Save-A-Lot, I just type in Clinton Save-A-Lot, and it shows up. So I guess you just go to Facebook and type in Clinton Save-A-Lot. Make sure you don't have Clinton, Indiana. And you can see, we post new employees. We post a lot of things, but we don't post item and price hardly ever. The egg thing is a rarity for me, because to me, I'd rather communicate other things to the public on Facebook than item price. It's like in the newspaper, grocery ads. They become really boring and repetitive. So, people know our prices are fair, extremely fair and low. So that's what we shoot for.
Gotcha. Very good. Well, on that note, Dave, let's break and come back with some more. Again, Dave Jackson, Clinton Save-A-Lot owner, our guest on the phone. More to come with Dave on the WHOW Morning Show.
WHOW.
Let's check the opening numbers now at the Chicago Board of Trade on this Monday. I'm Jim Taylor on the RFD Radio Network. Corn starting today slightly lower, beans slightly higher, and wheat slightly lower. May corn opening 460 down 2. July corn down 2 1/4, 471 1/4, and December new crop 487 down 3 1/4. May beans 11.63 up 4.25. July beans up 4.25, 11.79.5, and November new crop 11.46 3/4 up 2 3/4. May wheat starting today $6.75 down 4.25. July wheat $6.12 down 4. May KC wheat $6.24 3/4 down 8. May bean meal $3.1340 down to $1.90. May bean oil $68.68 up $1.27. Energy market June Brent crude oil 107.63 up 2.31. Opening numbers on this Monday morning. Jim Taylor, RFD Radio Network.
March into Baum Chevrolet Buick and march out with a new Chevrolet. This is Scott Baum from Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton and Farmer City. We have over 20 Silverados to fit your daily work needs in 1500, 2500, and 3500s in gas or diesel, all sale priced. Also, check out the Colorado pickup. This size and maneuverability may be another option as well. Chevrolet, together, let's drive. Baum Chevrolet Buick, right from the start.
Here's Matt Hart, owner of the Hart Media Group in Clinton, talking about continuing to serve the community through new ownership.
Things came together and we reached an agreement to purchase. And as you mentioned, we closed August the 1st. So that's August the 1st. Miller Media Group is now Hart Media Group. And we're continuing to serve the people of Clinton and DeWitt County and Monticello and Bloomington and Decatur and everywhere, because we'll just keep connecting people as we've been doing.
The Hart Media Group looks forward to continuing to serve the community for years to come.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Once again, good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Again, my guest on the phone today, Dave Jackson, owner of the Clinton Save a Lot, our guest. And Dave, let's talk inflation a little bit. You're telling me before we got started, not as many price increases on your goods these days. And to you, that's a sign inflation may be stabilizing. Tell us more.
Yes, it in spite of the media talking about how everything's going up, I don't know where you can get better information from the grocer that gets cost increases passed on from the wholesaler on a weekly basis to really answer the question. There are weeks that we have zero cost changes. Zero. Now, I actually do price changes I'm looking at a clipboard right here. Here's 6 weeks of price changes. And we do them every 6 weeks because it's not even worth going out there for 1 week. Yeah, I'm looking at a sheet right here. There's one change for this week. One.
What is it?
And here's got page with none, another page with one. So I'm not saying there's no inflation. I'm just saying it is flat out come to a heck of a slowdown from where it was. Now. Milk and eggs go up and down. Commodities go up and down. But for the most part, and I control pricing here. I look at every single retail that goes up or down, except for fresh meat. John does that. So I can just say, no, I'm not going to raise that. Or yes, I'm going to raise it, whatever. But it has definitely come down. I'm going to give you some examples. I said earlier that before the break that, I watch the prices so you don't have to. So I also compare them so you don't have to. So you can come in my store and see, milk were $2.29, Walmart's $2.32, eggs were $1.59, $1.67, sugar $2.95, $2.97, Sunbeam king size white sandwich bread, we're $2.49, they're $3. Now I don't know when $3 became cheaper than $2.49, but my math's pretty good here. Water $2.98, they are $3.68. And then flour, we're $2.29, they're $2.38. So we have these yellow signs. We unapologetically call out these big box stores and let the public know that yes, this not so little store in Clinton that's supplied by a very large billion-dollar company is competitive. And I watch it like a hawk, and I'm not going to quit doing that. So anyway. It's something that we monitor and we try to temper it as much as we can. Milk, $2.29 a gallon. That's just unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, and
That
can
is
I be honest, Dave? I mean, I understand prices are not going up, but in terms of inflation for me, I'm looking at the price of things like, frozen pizza for a quick meal for my kids on a busy night, or
Right.
for those frozen meals, or the snacks, and those, the things you can throw in the air fryer or the oven or whatever. Those prices may not be going up, but they're not back where they were before, say,
Oh, no.
2000, when everything kind of went back up. And to me, that says, like, yeah, inflation is stabilizing, but also things are more expensive now than they were when we were buying groceries 5 years ago.
They are, but let me tell you something, Seth. I have never seen what occurred in the last month ever. Frito-Lay dropped a bunch of costs on their product. Now, their stuff went up like crazy. We all know that, and they reduced the size of the bags. But they dropped costs, 80 cents a bag, $1 a bag, 60 cents a bag. I've never seen them drop prices. I just had a pop company lower costs significantly. I was shocked. Entenmann's, some of the box of donuts, which were already too high, I'm not going to argue, someone went down $1 a box. I've never seen companies drop prices. What's happened is they're absolutely maxing out on sales, and the only option they have, is to drop the cost. So we are seeing, and I'm 15% off on all the Entenmann's product every day, which nobody else is doing. So, I mean, that's never, and I know what's happening. I've talked to people at a food show here recently. I talked to Kraft Heinz. They are seeing the same thing. They're seeing they went too far, and now they got to back off. So I think you're going to see at least a little bit of a softening in costs, and it's still very cheap to eat at home. I mean, when you do the math, we got pork chops back there for less than $1 a pork chop. I mean, beef's high, but it's kind of come down some.
Mm-hmm.
But again, we talked about beef earlier before we started here. But when beef goes up, we don't just go, oh, ribeyes went up, raise them $1. No, we wait. We wait a few weeks to see what's happening. And then they come back down, then we don't have to raise it. And when it drops, I mean, we do the same thing. If it drops, we don't go, oh, it dropped. We wait a week or two to see if it's a little bit sustained, and then we drop the price to be fair to the public. So we do go up and down on those things, but we do it intelligently and strategically. We don't just knee-jerk react to these things.
Sure. Yeah. Well, on that note, Dave, I know we could probably talk a lot further on a lot of this. I do need to let you go for the day. Again, best way for folks to keep up with all things Clinton Save-A-Lot.
Well, you can shop my store or go to the Facebook. We don't do any, the only advertising we do for the most part, we got a few billboards, but we do advertise, with you, and then that's it really. Besides Facebook, we just don't advertise. No ads.
Yep. On that note, Dave Jackson, owner of Clinton Save-A-Lot in Clinton, our guest on the phone. Network News comes your way now on the WHOW Morning Show.
WHOW.